Hi, welcome.
Yo, what's up?
Welcome back to Conspiracy Worldwide Radio. How you doing, man?
I'm doing great.
Excellent. Now, of course, the word on the street and as in the photographs on the street is you're working hard in the studio right now.
Yes, sir. Working hard in the studio. Out here in Detroit, it's snowing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just trying to put together a masterpiece, man. A Slaughterhouse masterpiece.
Yeah, man. Now, this is something that, of course, as you know, the whole world awaits this Slaughterhouse project. That's a huge pressure, but I know how much you guys love making music, so to some extent, I should imagine you don't really ever pay attention to that pressure from the world.
Yeah, I mean, we always want to just make the best music we could possibly make, you know what I'm saying, for the fact that we're passionate about what we do, and for the fans, we want to give them something to where they can, really be satisfied, dog. Like, it's hard to satisfy everybody, but we definitely, the people who have been basically our core fans who got us to where we are, we just want to put something of high quality together for them and something that they can enjoy,
Yeah. What do you think your fans prefer more? The kind of in-your-face battle, take-on-anybody type Slaughterhouse? Or do you feel they love the more sort of introspective Slaughterhouse, the more sort of reflective Slaughterhouse? Where are you going with this new album is really what I'm hinting at. Who are you? I mean, you say it's very difficult to please everybody, which is absolutely true. But who are you trying to please more? The fans that want the hardcore, the fans that want a bit more than the hardcore?
You know what, man? What I've seen since traveling and doing all these tours, and we got fans, man, who love songs that we have like Onslaught, where it's just lyrical. You know what I mean? You're just in your face, like you said, battle type lyrics, and then they also love Move On, which is introspective. So sometimes that's actually the same fan, who loves that type and the other type. So, that's the people that we're aiming it at, because we do have to kind of tell our story. Eminem has given us a big stage right now. So, we have to open up about who we are individually, and our stories will come out in introspective records, but we're always going to have that in-your-face boom bap, you know what I mean? And we'll see, man. I'm just as curious to find out how the fans will receive it, but I know that we put blood, sweat, and tears into it. So, that I'm comfortable, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I know you do. I know you put blood, sweat, and tears into everything you do. We're going to be talking, of course, about COB as we get into the interview, but right now, of course, like I said, you are sat there and you are working hard on this Slaughterhouse project. Now, as well as all members of Slaughterhouse heavily involved, of course, with the creative process here, who's around you? You mentioned Eminem there. I mean, is he just sitting back and hearing every day what you're making and giving a nod and giving you advice, or is he actively sat in the studio for most of these tracks for this new Slaughterhouse project?
Well, I'm in the studio right now with him. You know what I mean? And he's hands on, man, and he's putting in as much work as we're putting in. You know what I mean? And I just got on Twitter and I said he was a scientist, because he is, man. He can hear things that nobody else hears and add, icing on top of the cake that we never even thought of. You know what I mean? He's a true gifted producer outside of just being a rapper. And I'm over here right now. Joel Ortiz is over here with me. Royce had to do a show in Canada, but he'll be back tonight late. Yeah. So, yeah, man, we just sit around the studio. We come up with ideas. We brainstorm. We play beats, and we go in the booth and do what we do best.
Yeah, of course you do, man. And it's amazing you said that about Eminem, because I don't know if he sat there with you now, but you need to let him know that when we had DJ Premier upon the show recently, he said exactly the same thing as you said, and Premier was saying he just can't wait for Eminem to one day make it happen so he gets one of Premier's beats. And he said the same thing about Eminem's ear for music.
Yeah, he has an incredible ear, and I think that's sometimes overshadowed by the fact that he's a lyrical genius. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But definitely incredible ear for music, man, without a doubt. And I would love to hear that. Primo and him, that'd be crazy.
Wow. Primo, I think Primo was hinting he's already made the beats. He's already got them all sat there, the perfect beats for M. He's just waiting for the phone call. He's waiting for that one day where they may meet again. I know they've already met, where they may meet again and they could make it happen. And that's what Primo was saying to us on the show. So, like you say, imagine that, man. I mean, What about Primo Slaughterhouse? Imagine that. Is that a possibility, or is that something that's not on the cards for this particular album?
It's always a possibility and all the way up until the fact that it's getting pressed up and printed up, and then it's like, we couldn't get it done scheduling. But when we did the first Slaughterhouse album, we recorded it, actually most of it in Premier Studio in New York, headquarters.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So he would come in and stick his head into the room, man, and just provide inspiration. It's nothing like recording an album and a legend like DJ Premier comes in, sticks his head in, that's ill, and then walk out. Just a lot of inspiration.
I can imagine. Now, what's the biggest difference recording this new album in Shady Studio versus recording in headquarters? Both legendary studios within their own right, of course.
Yeah, and I mean, I think the difference is, man, we have a lot more elbow room, on this album, because the last album was on Koch, and we were kind of placed in a box, but we got a lot of elbow room on this album to be creative, and having a CEO that's an MC as well, he understands where we're coming from, so it's a blessing, man. It's a big blessing, and we're treating it as such.
Yeah, exactly, man. And of course, let's not forget, we mentioned Eminem with the ear, Eminem, the dope lyricist, but let's not forget Eminem, the amazing businessman, the business mind as well. Let me ask you this then, man. I mean, what sort of business plan have you got for this album? Have we got the big chart hits? Have we got Drake up on there? Maybe that's a ridiculous question. What I'm asking you, though, is, at the end of the day, Shady Records is a business.
Absolutely, but I mean, there's a lot of heavyweight producers on board. We'll have a few surprise features, with artists out there that are staying true to the craft and are reigning on the charts. That's what's up. But it's more so about the sound. We don't ever grab a record and say, hey, this would be a smash if we put this person on who's popular. It's like it's more about the sound, like who would really sound good on this, whether they're an underground person or a mainstream person. It's about who sounds the best and what would make the song come out the best.
Let's talk about this sound. You were able to reveal the producers who are contributing that sound. I mean, how much is produced by Eminem first and foremost?
We got some joints. We got some joints on there he produced. I don't know all what will end up making the final album,
right,
but he will have joints on there. I mean, he's brought a couple incredible records to the table already. As a matter of fact, he's in there right now putting some touches on a record that he produced. That's man, it's amazing, man. And like I said, I just think that a lot of times his production and his ear is overlooked because of the lyrical, the ingenious rhymes. But we got a lot of producers. I can't talk too much about it, but it's going to be a big album, and they really pulled out all the weaponry for us. Shady Records did.
Excellent. Now, we've heard you talk about how inspirational Eminem is to yourself as a lyricist and the rest of the group, but how inspirational is Crocodile to Eminem? I mean, have you seen any influence of yours being implemented, personally, as far as Eminem's artistry in the studios goes?
I think he does feed off of our energy, feeds off of, the whole group, I've seen it go down like that, where it's like, maybe it's just we're just sitting around, and all of a sudden one of us goes into the booth, lays something that he finds inspirational. He says, now I got to go do something. You know what I'm saying? So it's definitely a two-way street, man, and it's just a great situation to be a part of, dog. It's just, I could be at another label with some stuffed shirt that don't know nothing about music or being an MC, but I'm on a label with a CEO who knows all about being an MC.
Absolutely. Now, what was the last joint you recorded together?
Well, we're recording one today, so.
Can you tell us about this? Can you give the UK a little nugget, a little exclusive?
Ooh, hey, yo, I'm gonna just tell you, man. It's psycho. Just remember that I said that it was psycho. It's a psychotic record, and when you hear it, you'll understand why I'm saying that it's psycho. Hint, hint.
Could you compare it to any other joints existing by Eminem or Slaughterhouse? I mean, what are we talking about? I mean, how psycho exactly is this? Who produced it?
Well, M did.
Okay.
I guess we could compare it to Loud Noises off Bad Meets Evil.
Okay, dope.
You know what I'm saying? Which was more about, lyrical shadow boxing. You know what I'm saying? But it always, I mean, like I said, man, we have a lot of introspective records. We got records that are going to surprise people, but it's always dope to go back to the pure essence and just rhyme.
Absolutely, without doubt. Now, you dropped, in my opinion, one of the most overlooked releases of 2009, your EP, Mr. Pig Face Weapon Waste, rhyming as your Slaughterhouse spin off Alter Ego, of course. Now, can we expect to hear yourself as that alter ego being channeled on this new record versus yourself rhyming as Dominic Wycliffe?
Yeah, man, I think you'll hear a little bit of everything. You'll hear a little of everything, you know what I mean? You got Mr. Pig Face Weapon Waste, that alter ego was born, in Slaughterhouse. You got the introspective Dominic, now, we're just trying to just keep it live, keep it fresh, you know what I mean? And bring ideas and concepts to the table that have been missing for a while because a lot of artists are ignoring the essence of hip-hop. Some aren't doing their thing, and I salute the ones that are keeping hip-hop alive, but some aren't. So we're definitely pushing the line. I'm pushing the line. When you listen to a West Coast artist, sometimes people say, well, people on the West Coast, they don't have the same lyrical abilities of other places, other cities, other states, but they'll say that no more after this album drops.
Yeah, absolutely, man. That's what Slaughterhouse has been. It hasn't been a coastal thing. It's been truly just a lyrical thing, and that's what everybody around the world has always appreciated with Slaughterhouse. I got to say, man, we kicked off the show. We always like to kick off this show with one of the biggest tracks we could find from this week, and you're doing the same. I mean, you're really emulating the vibe and the energy of Slaughterhouse with your own group, of course, Horseshoe Gang. I mean, that recent track that came out there, man, that's venomous, and that really showed the talent of that group.
Man, thank you very much, bro. Those guys, they're hard workers. They love hip-hop. You know what I mean? We could sit down and talk about hip-hop for 4 or 5 hours straight and not even get tired. It's just passion. And, we dropped a song called Drum Murder. We did a video to it, and it's getting a good response out there online, man. And I just appreciate it, the fact that, people appreciate it. Even the fact that you just mentioned it, I'll go tell them, I just did an interview and they mentioned the song, and they'll be happy, you know what I mean? Because this is our life, man, you know what I mean? As far as COB, as far as Slaughterhouse, this is our life, making music and getting it out to the people, period.
Yeah, exactly, man, and staying focused, and I think that's the key to every member of Slaughterhouse success, including them, of course. Focus, because without that, you get a lot of artists that kind of get lost a little bit, and they just put things out that they thought at the time sounded good, and then their fans slowly disappear. But I sense with Horseshoe Gang, like you just said there, without me even saying this, they care about what they're doing. They care about every single bar, and that's the main thing about that crew. And I will say one more thing about Horseshoe Gang before we move on, is you must be taking a lot of what you're learning with them and what you're learning with Slaughterhouse, the vibe, the energy, and you must be taking that back to the Horseshoe Gang and transferring that to them and giving them extra initiative and extra incentive, I would imagine.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the Horseshoe Gang they're all my brothers. They're all my little brothers. You know what I mean? I taught them how to rap when they were like 5 and 6 going to kindergarten, and I used to write 4 bars. When I left to school, I would write like 4 to 8 bars, and I would make them memorize. So when I come back from school, I want you to memorize this rap. So I really taught them how to rap, and then they took it to a whole nother level, and I fully expect them to be better than me.
Yeah. I mean, that's what it is. I mean, as a teacher myself, that's what we're told to do. Teach the students so well, so at the end of the course, they know more than you do about the course. You know what I mean? And I sense that's what you've been doing with Horseshoe Gang, man. And like you say, this new track, there's a new level of venom in it. I sense there's a new level for that group, and their confidence is becoming sky high now.
dope, man. I love it. I love it. They got a new mixtape they're working on right now. We're about to drop it in about another 2 or 3 weeks. About 17 brand new tracks on there. It's real crazy. So, everybody should definitely look out for that. It's coming in about 2 or 3 weeks. So we'll make some real announcements on Twitter and, do a few, blog sites and things like that. But definitely Horseshoe Gang, for real.
Nice. Now, we mentioned the studio just earlier. I mean, what can you tell us about the studio session, between yourself as a solo artist versus a typical studio session for yourself as a part of Slaughterhouse and yourself as a part of the Shoehorse Gang?
Oh, well, you know what it is, dog. It's just walk in. When it comes to the Slaughterhouse thing, it really is an assembly line. Right now, Joel is in there laying a verse right now. When I get off of this phone, I'm gonna walk in there and lay a verse. You know what I'm saying? When Royce comes back from his show in Canada, he's gonna walk in and lay a verse. We respect each other's talent and we respect each other's grind that we've all put in this industry so much that there's never a lot of disagreements. There's never a lot of, if somebody brings an idea to the table, we respect that idea. So the synergy is flowing. You got some Patron in the house. You got some coconut Ciroc vodka in the house. You got, good vibes. Good people making good music, dog.
Exactly, and that's what the connection's been, man. And that's obviously what the fans are all waiting for. Now, you've given us so much information about this Slaughterhouse project. It sounds like it's buzzing. What type of percentage completion are you at the moment? I mean, are you over 50%? Are there a lot of tracks been laid and you're going to have to make a choice of what gets included? I mean, whereabouts are you now with this new album?
Man, I would say 90%.
All right.
I would say 90%, maybe more. But as far as recording, we're 90%. Maybe even more. But it's coming out crazy, man. I mean, it sounds epic, man. And I hate to use that word because it's kind of used a lot, but that's just what it sounds like. It sounds epic, dog. Like, and people who know me know that I don't really listen to my own music much. I'm a fan of everybody else, but I can't wait to play this in my car, man. Can't wait.
Yeah, that's true. It's true. I can only imagine, and I know you're not using that word for no reason. Too. How many joints deep will it be? How many joints are on the album?
I'm thinking about probably, I don't know. We've been talking about that. We're thinking about maybe 15, 16.
15, 16.
Maybe 15,
and how many
16.
have you recorded? Yeah.
We probably did 50 songs. You know that. Yeah, man, we don't play around, dog.
Do you have any plans for those remaining joints? I mean, would they be bonuses on iTunes or turned into EPs?
We'll do some bonuses. We'll do some post some online, give away some, to the fans.
Yeah.
I'll try to sneak a few for my solo album.
Yeah.
Things like that. You know how it go.
Yeah, exactly, man. That's it. Let's not forget, every member of Slaughterhouse are massively successful solo artists as well. So, whatever you don't eat on this particular sitting at the table, I'm sure there'll be leftovers, that you can eat later on. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to this, man. Of course, the whole world is as well. Now, last time you came on, we were speaking about this Slaughterhouse album. It was more of a kind of idea back then. And you mentioned you had an idea that you all wanted to do, which would be yourself, Slaughterhouse, on the same track, going up against, in a non-violent way, in a friendly way, up against the Four Horsemen. Now, has that become a reality? Did that ever happen?
You know what? That didn't happen, but we still talk about that. I mean, as far as, I talked to Razcast, and, he told me that Corrupt was definitely trying to get a Four Horsemen Slaughterhouse collab. So it will happen, man, because it's in the air, it's in the universe, and usually when it gets to that point, it'll happen. And, Slaughterhouse, we definitely are open to do that. I mean, those dudes paved the way. Those dudes put in a lot of work in the industry, so you have to salute that. And then, they still spit fire, so let's go,
Yeah, exactly. And like we said, the very last time you came on the show, we were saying what a perfect way to celebrate both groups, to actually bring you onto a track so all your fans, both fans, I think you share the same fans, to be honest, could actually hear that and experience the magic of this kind of non-serious, if I put it that way, a non-serious battle on track between two of the greatest groups out there in 2012. So that'd be amazing, man, if you could make that happen. Maybe that could even make their project, make the Four Horsemen project rather than Slaughterhouse.
Yeah, for sure, man. We just got to find some kind of beat that's just crazy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And once that happens, man, it's going to probably be about 6 minutes of madness.
Yeah. There you go. That's the name of the track. There's the name of the track. You've named it on this show, and you need to get that together. That'll be wicked, man. But like you say, Four Horsemen, absolute legends and living legends. In other words, they're still making, pushing the music. What about C.O.B. there, man? I mean, last time we spoke, you were massively optimistic, as I'm sure you still are now. But since then, you put a lot of the optimism and words into action. And C.O.B. really now is making a mark. That imprint is out there now. I mean, what's the plan for 2012, C.O.B.?
The plan is, really just to position ourselves to be successful, and everybody. I want to see all the artists that are down with C.O.B., whether it's a graph artist, a DJ, a producer, a rap artist. We got a lot of people that's a part of this crew that we got, and I just want to see everybody successful and living their dreams. So we're gonna work hard in 2012. You know what I mean? We're gonna put out music. Like I said, Horseshoe got a new mixtape coming. My other group, they got a mixtape coming out. My cousin Sauce the Boss, he's part of a group called the Doobie Brothers, which, their mixtape is dedicated to partaking in, I would say, Mary Jane. But, they got something coming out, and just pushing real hard. The T-shirt line is doing pretty well. You
Nice.
can go to planetcob.com and you can go to cobworldorder.com and purchase the T-shirts. I mean, they're doing good. We're in about 50 stores on the West Coast right now, and COB, man, it's our religion. We believe in each other, and we're gonna push it all the way to the top, man. I won't be satisfied till you. Everywhere you look, you see someone with a COB shirt on over there where you at.
Exactly. So everybody listening right now, log on to planetcob.com to get that official merch. That's dope. We're going to cover the questions. Just come into the studio inbox. I hope you don't mind us just filtering through a couple. Is that okay?
Yes, let's get it.
We got a question from Dean in Middlesbrough. He wants to know, he says, Yellow Wolf has been vocal in past about Eminem's admiration towards him as an artist and how he's quoted lyrics of his and knows his songs. Are there any Crooked Eyes songs that Eminem knows and was a fan of before signing Slaughterhouse?
Yes, indeed. Indeed. I couldn't even tell you because, like I said, he's a scientist, and so he remembers things. He hears songs and he remembers them, and he'll come out of the blue and say, "Yo, when you said this on that song, that was ill." You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that definitely, man. Too many to name, I would say.
Yeah, I can only imagine. Now we got another question from Brenda in Wolverhampton in UK. She asks, have you guys as a group as Slaughterhouse talked to Eminem about potentially turning Slaughterhouse into a 5-headed monster and adding him as a 5th member?
Hey, man, in a perfect world, that would be that would be the next album. You know what I mean? The 5-headed monster.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, there's unlimited potential to grow over here at Shady. So we're just blessed, man. He's on the album. He's doing what he's doing. He's spitting fire, and we're just blessed for that right now. You know what I'm saying?
For sure. Question from Jay in Detroit as it goes. He says, I love the fact that you name-dropped somebody who, in my opinion, is one of the most underrated MCs of all time, Trey D, in a recent Funkmaster Flex freestyle. Have you and do you visit Trey D much in jail?
Well, you know what? I communicate with Trey D. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Trey D. 2012 will be the free Trey D era. You know what I'm saying? We're going hard with the free Trey D campaign. Yeah, I communicate with Trey D, you know what I'm saying? And I can't wait till he comes back, man, because he's one of the, I would say, staples of the Long Beach community of hip-hop artists, you know what I'm saying? So he's very important to the city of Long Beach, and, we can't wait till he comes out.
Yeah, without question. Valerie asks, ask Eminem if he has plans of launching a Shady Records Europe label.
Okay.
Okay, Valerie, your request will be answered.
Dope.
Yeah, I'll ask him, and then I'll tweet about it.
Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
tweet his answer.
That's cheating, Crook. That's cheating.
Yeah. No, you need to go. Is he busy? Is he busy now?
Yeah, he's in there busy right now.
She says she's on the hospital bed, dying.
Yeah. Okay. I just wonder if he was available to chat a bit. One more. Ask about Eminem's new album. I've heard it's finished, says one listener. God, he knows a lot. Is it finished?
I don't think so, but you know what I'm saying? He works all the time, but I haven't heard that it was done. But, he works all the time, so I wouldn't be surprised if he has 3 albums finished. Wouldn't shock me.
And the listener goes on to say they've heard that there's a further collaboration with Gangsta Boo on the way.
Huh. These are things that I don't know about, so maybe I have to go ask and find out.
Oh no, these people who read blogs, they know more than the artists nowadays. You see, Crooked, that's what it is. They're the knowledgeable ones now.
Yeah, you know that. Yeah. Plus, they know, man, everything. I remember when I was growing up listening to hip hop, I didn't know much. I just knew that I liked this artist. He was dope. But now they know everything. They know who A&R'd the project. They know what label it's on. They know who owns the label. They know how much the label is worth.
Yeah.
So,
all I tend to see now on Twitter, and I tend to retweet them, is artists denying things, like saying, that track that everyone's saying I produced, I did not produce it. That was Pete Rock. Just yesterday he had to say that. He had, who was it? Another artist came through and said, this particular track that says features me, that is not me. I am not on this track. And that's because, of course, this internet world now, which is like a constant newspaper, isn't it? Saying this is true, this person produced that, here it is, everybody. And so, obviously, listeners now think they know that artists have made tracks even before the artist even thought about making the track. So I think that's where this listener's going with that.
For real.
Yeah, I think they've, so there's all sorts of questions for that coming in. Listen, man, absolute pleasure talking to you once again. And if you could...
too.
Really keep us in. You won't need to actively keep us in touch, man, because I know all of you lot, your marketing methods are unbelievable when it comes to the internet, so we get everything here for the station. And of course, we support everything, and all the best, of course.
Thank you.
Spurring on your own group, COB, and of course, the Horseshoe Gang in particular. And like I say, we've been supporting them throughout last year, but we've never really kicked the show off with one of the tracks. But that new track, like you said, there is absolute venom. Okay, God bless. Take care of yourself. We'll speak again this year.
There we go, man. 2012. Happy New Year. Y'all get it.
And yourself, man. Take it easy. Crooked Eyes, Slaughterhouse. The album is being made as we speak.